disciplines, so it should be interesting to see how this one plays out in a kickboxing fight in an ice storm.
3 2-minute rounds here tonight in our first bout of the evening. And here we are about to get underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first bout of the evening is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds in the 175-pound kickboxing division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man represents Columbia, Missouri. Please would you welcome Juston Sharp. And his opponent out of the red corner, by way of Columbia, Missouri, please welcome Aleksey Salaz.
Touch of the gloves and we are underway.
You see those boxing glove tattoos that Juston Sharp has. You know, he's used to having these heavy gloves on his hands and trying to get in range here, get in tight, land some of those power shots. But you can see both similar size in that cage. As Salaz lands a nice looping right hand right there.
Yeah, just lands behind the ear, but Juston Sharp staying tight, staying crisp with that lead hand.
Yep, good movement so far. In and out from Sharp.
You know, Sharp definitely with the experience advantage, but, you know, Aleksey looks super calm and collected early on, especially for being so young in his career.
Yeah, and you're kind of noticing that when he's standing in his corner waiting to get introduced. Not a lot will face Salaz in there, and looking to just land his shots at a high level, throwing a lot of low kicks, and then some counters.
Yeah, battle of the jab so far, really making the difference right now in round number 1.
Come on, Springfield, let him hear you.
There's that right hand again, just missed from Salaz. More straight shots on the side of Sharp, excuse me.
Yeah, Juston Sharp doing a great job, just keeping everything straight down the pipe. A lot of those bigger shots from Aleksey are landing on the shoulders. Some are definitely making contact, but the straight shots are, oh, as I say that, a big body kick from Aleksey lands.
Yeah, good combination from Salaz right there with the body kick and then the right hand following right after. And then Sharp immediately back on the pressure of his own.
10 seconds left.
That's a low kick from Sharp.
Nice tactical back and forth in round number 1.
Well, as you can see, Salaz, he's always, you know, looks like he's smiling in there.
Yeah, looks like, you know, excited to be back in there. You know, obviously with a wrestling pedigree, you know, these guys are, you know, born competitors. Some of these guys start wrestling at 4 years old, 50, 60 matches a year, and, you know, could be a big testament to why he looks so calm and collected here early in his combat sports career.
Yeah, not often you see the guy in the corner already taped up, and that's Cale Horton, who we'll see obviously later tonight, noticing his hands, but in the corner of Salaz, as he's to prepare for battle. This will get him a good feel of the cage, you'd imagine. Yeah, both fighters fresh after that first round. Those 2 minutes go by quick in these kickboxing matches, so it's kind of hard to, you know, get an advantage unless you do something, you know, special, but a very close round.
Little slick spot over there in the corner.
Yep, and some water over there.
Yeah, Salaz dropped his mouthpiece, and his coach dumped a little water on it to clean it off, but did not clean up that wet spot. Lead hand active early for Sharp.
Yeah, like you said, Justin's been very tactical so far between these two fighters.
Well, we'll see how much, you know, that first round for Sharp was just kind of downloading what Salaz is doing, because you see him more active now.
Right, and I like the heavy leg kick approach from Salaz too. It's likely something that Sharp's not super used to at this point in his career, so throwing those in the first round, it looked like he was having some success. As he feints one right there, and Sharp lands one of his own. And there it is again.
Big check hook there.
Yep, it's got power, more volume. He's picking it up, is Sharp.
Corner of Sharp imploring him to get to the body.
Yep, there he is. Straight jab to the body. There's that leg kick again. You can see Salaz, he'll start his combinations with that or even end it with that.
Might get him in a little trouble starting his kicks, or starting his combination with the kicks. Just depends on the range that he's at.
Yep, there he throws it again. Oh, and that's a low blow right there directly to the cup.
Yeah, Sharp knew it right away.
And they talk about it in the back, you know, if a guy's moving and you hit him in the low area, you know, they're more likely to take a point. But if they're moving and they get hit in that spot, he's less likely to take a point. But all fair there. We're back to action. That's just about it for round number 2. Still very, very close one, Justin.
Yeah, close round, but definitely in favor of Sharp, in my opinion, for round number 2. But thankfully, I'm not the one getting paid to be a judge tonight.
More volume for sure on the side of Sharp in that round. And they got that wet spot cleaned up. Good Cale Horton.
First bout of the evening, entering round number 3. Tactical matchup so far. We have a bunch of incredible bouts slated for the rest of the evening, headlined by future UFC hopeful Alan Olivas versus former UFC contender Eric Shelton in the main event for the inaugural Bantamweight Championship here at Synergy FC.
Yep, and I was just about to say it, Justin. It's a huge fight here tonight in Springfield. It's the main event, and we're on our way to that point tonight. But right now we got something to settle between Salaz and Sharp in round 3.
Hey, he tired. Turn up the tempo just a little bit. Stay on point on defense, though.
Good job by Sharp getting that leg out of the way that time. See a lot of movement. These body kicks are laying in for Salaz so far. Power shot.
Best shot of the fight so far for Salaz.
Another good low kick.
Good knee to the body. Almost looked like he was hurt there for a second.
Wasn't sure, but yeah.
Nice body.
See the technique on these low kicks is just much sharper than Sharp's.
Yeah, definitely the better kicker, but you know that would make sense given both gentlemen's backgrounds. You know,
right.
Sharp, you could tell, just really started to get comfortable in this kicking range.
Yeah, late add to the card too was this fight, so not a ton of notice for each gentleman, but they're putting it on each other here. You can see the movement of Sharp.
Yeah, I'm surprised Aleksey's not throwing more knees. You know, Sharp's.
Yeah.
You know, he's leaning heavy on that front foot, trying to just crash in.
Good right hand up the middle combination.
It's a great tactic for boxing, but it can get you hurt pretty bad here when knees and kicks are involved.
Yeah, these low kicks are hard ones from Salaz. He's landed just about every one he's thrown. But it might not be enough. We'll see. There it is again. To end the fight.
Tough round to score.
Yep.
Tough round to score. Almost feel like there's not enough time, you know, to really get a great picture of what this fight's, you know, could have been with these 3 2-minute rounds.
Just starting to play out, too, and Yeah, both fighters fresh. You see Sharp bouncing around in his corner. It's just going to depend on what the judges, value as the more damaging strikes and who the more effective fighter was.
First fight of the evening going to decision. Just technical and action-packed all the way through. This is going to be a tough one for these guys to decipher, but I think we might have a decision.
Yeah, it looks like our ring announcer, Caleb Rogers, still waiting to get it, but as I'm looking over there, I see the OG, Cliff Wright, in the building tonight.
Yeah.
Shout out Cliff Wright.
A real veteran of this sport. With a combined 50 professional bouts across all forms of combat sports, and if you're from Southwest Missouri, needs no introduction.
He's enjoying the action tonight. Still gathering data over there. We will.
I mean, that was a tough one to score.
It was.
The only definitive round in that fight, in my opinion, was round number 2 for Juston Sharp. But rounds 1 and 2, I mean, those could go. Rounds 1 and 3 can go either way. Yeah, there's no secret. Sometimes the judging is a little inconsistent. Depending on who's sitting behind the cards that night, but the vantage point that they have to view from and what they have to deal with on any given night, I do not envy being a judge.
They could have gotten a whole nother round in while we're waiting for the scorecards. Good thing they don't have bad blood.
Yeah, this was more of an athletic endeavor than it was a fight for these two gentlemen. Obviously they left it all out there, but
two guys I'm sure we'll see back to. Salaz with the MMA experience already, and then one discipline for Sharp. He's got it on lock, so we'll see if he tests MMA as well.
I think we finally have ourselves an answer here.
Maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, this one goes the distance. Judge Ross Swanberg scores the bout 29-28 Sharp. Judge Jim Thress scores the bout 28-29 Salaz. And Judge Bill Hagler scores the bout 29-28 for your winner out of the blue corner, Juston Sharp.
Early split on the night of Juston Sharp